Today, we're on a culinary crusade, uncovering the shocking truths behind the food you think you know. We're talking about culinary imposters, historical hiccups, and the downright bizarre beginnings of your favorite dishes, from ketchup's fishy past to the true origins of pizza, and much more. You see this croissant? This buttery, flaky, delicious croissant? It's as French as a baguette, right? Wrong. This pastry, my friends, is about as French as I am. The croissant, believe it or not, actually hails from Austria. They called it a Kipferl back then, and it was a denser, less refined pastry. An Austrian baker brought the Kipferl to France in the 1800s, and the French, bless their souls, fell head over heels. They couldn't resist tinkering with it, refining the dough, adding layer upon layer of butter until it became the airy, decadent treat we know and love today. But let's be clear, the next time you see a Parisian cafe boasting about its croissants, remember, it all started with a humble Austrian pastry. A bloody brilliant pastry, but Austrian nonetheless. Ketchup, that sweet, tangy, tomatoey goodness we slather on everything from burgers to fries. It's as American as apple pie, right? Well, hold your horses, because this story takes a turn for the fishy. You see, ketchup's roots can be traced back to Southeast Asia, where a fermented fish sauce, often made with anchovies or other small fish, reigned supreme. This pungent concoction, believe it or not, was the precursor to our beloved ketchup. Traders brought this fermented fish sauce to Europe in the 17th century, and the Brits, bless their cotton socks, became obsessed. But it wasn't until tomatoes made their way from the New World that ketchup started to resemble the condiment we know and love today. Pizza, that glorious creation of dough, sauce, and cheese, a culinary masterpiece that screams Italy, right? Well, get ready for a history lesson, because pizza's story goes back further than you might think. Long before Italy became synonymous with pizza, ancient civilizations were already enjoying flatbreads topped with various ingredients. The Egyptians, for example, were known to bake flatbreads in mud ovens and top them with herbs and olive oil. The Greeks, too, had their version of pizza called plakous, which they flavored with toppings like cheese, onions, and garlic. Even the ancient Persians had a hand in pizza's history. Soldiers would bake flatbreads on their shields and top them with cheese and dates. It was in Naples, Italy, however, that pizza, as we know it, really took shape. So, while Italy can certainly be credited with perfecting pizza and making it a global phenomenon, remember, its roots run deep, stretching back to ancient times and cultures far beyond Italy's borders. Chocolate, that velvety, smooth, melt-in-your-mouth indulgence, a symphony of sweetness that we all know and love. But hold on to your hats, because chocolate's story begins with a decidedly less sweet and far more bitter chapter. Forget creamy milk chocolate and decadent truffles. In ancient Mesoamerica, chocolate was a bitter drink, a far cry from the sweet treat we know today. The Mayans and Aztecs revered cacao beans, believing them to be a gift from the gods. When chocolate first arrived in Europe in the 16th century, it was still consumed as a bitter drink, often flavored with sugar and spices to make it more palatable to European tastes. So the next time you indulge in a chocolate bar or savor a sip of hot cocoa, remember its long and storied past, from bitter beverage to the sweet treat that has captured the hearts and taste buds of millions worldwide. Ice cream, that cold, creamy, sweet delight that brings joy to people of all ages. But before you grab another scoop, let me tell you, the history of ice cream is as rich and layered as a triple chocolate fudge sundae. We're going all the way back to ancient China, where the earliest versions of ice cream were born. Forget your fancy churners and freezers. They used a mixture of ice, snow, and salt to create this frozen treat. And the flavors? Think rice, milk, and spices, a far cry from your modern-day rocky road. The Italians, with their flair for all things delicious, took to ice cream like ducks to water, adding their own unique twists and flavors. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour through the history of ice cream. Did you know that ancient Persians also had their own version of ice cream? They stored ice in underground chambers called yakhchals to keep it cool even in the scorching desert heat. The Romans, too, enjoyed frozen treats. They would mix snow with honey and fruit juices to create a refreshing dessert during their lavish feasts. Fast forward to medieval Europe, where ice cream became a delicacy for the elite. European royal courts would serve it at grand banquets, making it a symbol of luxury and sophistication. And let's not forget the American soda fountains of the 1950s, where ice cream sundaes and milkshakes became iconic symbols of the era. Today, ice cream has evolved into a global phenomenon with countless flavors and styles to choose from thanks to modern technology and creativity. Sushi, those delicate bite-sized pieces of perfection, a testament to Japanese culinary artistry, right? Well, get ready for a shock because sushi's story starts in a completely different corner of the world. Forget Tokyo and Kyoto. We're heading to Southeast Asia, where sushi's ancestors first emerged. They'd ferment fish by wrapping it in fermented rice, a process that sounds about as appealing as a burnt Yorkshire pudding, right? But hey, it did the job. Eventually, this fermented fish and rice dish made its way to Japan, where it evolved over centuries. By the Edo period, sushi had transformed into the fast food of ancient Japan, sold by street vendors. Today, sushi is a global phenomenon, but its roots are a fascinating blend of cultures and traditions. French fries, those crispy golden sticks of potatoy goodness, they're as American as baseball and apple pie, right? Wrong. We've got another culinary imposter on our hands. Forget the fancy French bistros. We're heading to Belgium, the true birthplace of the French fry. Desperate times called for delicious measures, and they turned to potatoes, slicing them thin and frying them up as a substitute. But it's not just about the fries. Belgian cuisine is rich and diverse, with a history that dates back centuries. From their famous waffles and chocolates to hearty dishes like mussels with fries, Belgium has a culinary tradition that rivals any in the world. And let's not forget their world-renowned beers, often enjoyed alongside these delicious fries at vibrant street food festivals. So there you have it, you lot. The shocking, the surprising, the downright unbelievable origins of some of your favorite foods. Next time you tuck into a croissant or dip a fry into some ketchup, remember the wild, historical ride these dishes have been on. Food, as you can see, is more than just fuel. If you enjoyed this culinary adventure and want to uncover more fascinating food history, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Did you know that the spice trade was one of the earliest drivers of globalization? Or that chocolate was once used as currency in ancient civilizations? There's so much more to discover about the foods we love. Stay tuned for more episodes where we dive even deeper into the rich tapestry of food history. Don't miss out. Subscribe, like, and share to keep the culinary journey going.